Mr. Walsh, next topic.
General, you made mention of your military service. Given that so many soldiers have had so many repeat deployments in war zones, is the idea of a volunteer armies or military still viable?
Well, you know, that's a wonderful, wonderful question. You know, we have the finest young soldiers that our country has ever had, but folks, we've worn them out. Some of them have been to Iraq and Afghanistan 5 and 6 times. They're coming home with PTSD. They're coming home missing arms and legs. And you know, folks, only 1 out of 10 17 to 24-year-old boys can serve in the military today. 30% are obese, 30% haven't graduated from high school, and 30% have a drug conviction. If it wasn't for the young women who stepped up and kept our volunteer army alive, we wouldn't be here tonight. I can tell you that. Our country would be in deep, deep trouble. So, you know, we need to work on the kind of things that are going to keep our national security strong. Early childhood education, getting our kids a better education, making sure that when these kids come home, we give them the health care that they need, and keeping them out of these stupid wars that we can't win. We've been over there in the Middle East for 11 years now, bombing the hell out of the whole place, both in Afghanistan and Iraq. It's time for us to come home. It's time for us to come home. And let me tell you something. It's not time to do as my opponent and the people in his party are proposing to do, to take $11 billion away from our veterans' health care with the Ryan Hurd budget. That's a disgrace to our country, and anybody that proposes that should hang their head in shame, folks.
Is the volunteer army or volunteer military still viable?
Yes it is. It's viable thanks to the young women that are signing up today. If we didn't have them, it probably wouldn't be viable.
I believe that, you know, from my view, I think that we do need to look to our, always look to our military leaders for advice on these issues. Obviously, this is an issue that ultimately it has to be made by Congress. But I've seen nothing or heard nothing that suggests that we don't have the finest equipped, the finest trained, the finest young people in the world that are protecting us here and abroad. And I don't know that there is any reason to believe that a voluntary going to a mandatory service is something that we should look at. I just have not heard that, and I don't believe that to be the case. But let me just say one thing. You know, I would like also to salute all of those who are here that are veterans, those who are active military, and I am grateful for their service. And I can tell you that as a member of Congress from Virginia's 5th District, that is my highest obligation, is the defense of our country. And I believe that we have got to look out for not only the defense of our country, but take care of those who have taken care of us. And for my opponent to sit here and say that the Paul Ryan budget cuts $11 billion out of veterans' health care is just flat out wrong. It is a fantasy. And for him to continue to say that after he knows that it's not true makes you wonder why he's saying it. I would suggest to you that when you look at what we have spent over the last year and a half that I've been there, we have maintained our commitment to our veterans. We have maintained our commitment in terms of salaries and benefits. And I don't think that you're ever, you know, he can politicize it if he wants to, but I don't think that you're going to find anybody in Washington who wants to do that to our servicemen.
Folks, you know, when you're on active duty, if you lose an arm or a leg, you know, the government takes care of you. And then when you can't serve anymore, they turn you over to the Veterans Administration. Some of our young veterans now who are coming out of the military wait up to 1 year before they get their health care because of the underfunding of the Veterans Administration today. And for my opponent to say that the Ryan Hurd budget doesn't cut $11 billion from the Veterans Administration over future years is just wrong. I guess he's voted for it, but he hadn't read it. He needs to read it. He needs to see us that are veterans. We're paying attention to this. And let me tell you, folks, the veterans know this. The kids know this. And if you want to see a volunteer army go down the tubes, just pull their health care out from under them and see how many are going to enlist in the future. This is time for us to meet our commitment to our soldiers. It's time for us to meet our commitment to our soldiers. They put their lives on the line, and some of them didn't even come home. And for us to take their health care away when they come home is wrong, folks.
Congressman Hurt, last word on this topic?
The only thing that's wrong is continuing to not tell the truth about it. I mean, that's what's wrong. And I would point out, if you're a veteran and you have problems right now, just don't forget who the Commander-in-Chief is.
Mr. Harrison, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Mr. Harrison. Next question.